What if I told you that one of the most beloved men in Hollywood, a millionaire, a global superstar, a living legend, still rides the subway, still stops to talk to strangers, and still buys coffee for the crew before filming? This is Keanu Reeves, an actor who turned tragedy into strength, fame into kindness, and success into simplicity. In a world obsessed with ego, Keanu became timeless by being humble. From the streets of Toronto to the Matrix, from heartbreak to heroism. This is the story of a man who never stopped being human, even after becoming a legend. Born on September 2nd, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon, Keanu Charles Reeves came into the world surrounded by chaos. His name, Keanu, means cool breeze over the mountains. But his childhood was anything but cool or calm. His father, part Hawaiian, part Chinese, walked out when Keanu was just 3. The last time they met, Keanu was 13, and his father was on his way to prison. His mother, Patricia, raised him while moving from city to city, Sydney, New York, and finally, Toronto. Keanu's childhood was filled with instability, new schools, new stepfathers, and endless goodbyes. He struggled with dyslexia, making school feel like a battlefield. Teachers called him rambunctious. He called himself lost. But even then, there was something different about him. A quiet intensity, a fire that no chaos could kill. When he was 15, he left behind hockey dreams after an injury and said, "I want to act." By 17, he dropped out of school, and by 20, he was chasing a dream across the border into Los Angeles. In LA, Keanu was just another kid with a funny name and big dreams. Casting agents told him, "You'll never make it with a name like that." So for a while he tried Casey Reeves, but destiny doesn't answer to nicknames, and soon the name Keanu Reeves would echo across generations. His first films were small, River's Edge, Permanent Record, Dangerous Liaisons, but he stood out. He had a rare mix of innocence and mystery. You couldn't tell what he was thinking, and that made you want to know him more. Then came 1989, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, a goofy time travel comedy that turned him into an overnight sensation. But here's the catch. Hollywood thought that's all he was, a clueless airhead. They saw the surface. They missed the soul. In 1991, Keanu did something unexpected. He took a raw, emotional role in My Own Private Idaho alongside River Phoenix, his best friend. The film showed the world that Keanu had depth, pain, and soul. That same year, he jumped off planes in Point Break, becoming an action hero overnight. Then, in 1994, Speed. It wasn't just a blockbuster. It was a statement. He wasn't Ted anymore. He was Jack Traven. A star was born. But fame didn't change him. He stayed quiet, grounded. And when Hollywood came calling with Speed 2, he said no. He turned down $12 million to tour with his band, Dogstar. Because for Keanu, life was never about money. It was about meaning. Then came the pain. In 1999, he was at the top of the world, starring in The Matrix, one of the greatest sci-fi films ever made. But off-screen, his world collapsed. He lost his daughter to stillbirth in 1999. 2 years later, his partner Jennifer Syme died in a car crash. In the span of 2 years, Keanu lost everything he loved. He stopped smiling for a while. He withdrew from Hollywood's glitter, showing up quietly for work, vanishing when the cameras stopped. People called him Sad Keanu, but behind that silence was strength. He once said, "Grief changes shape, but it never ends." Instead of letting it destroy him, He used it to understand pain, kindness, and what really matters in life. The Matrix wasn't just a movie, it was a prophecy. Neo's journey mirrored Keanu's own, a man waking up, realizing there's more to life than illusion. He trained for months, broke bones, learned martial arts, and gave his soul to the role. The result? A cultural revolution. 4 Oscars, billions at the box office, and a new definition of cool Keanu became the chosen one. Not just in the film, but in people's hearts. He followed it with roles in Constantine, Something's Gotta Give, and more. Not every film was a hit, but every performance carried authenticity. Off-screen, Keanu's simplicity has become legend. He once spent hours with stranded passengers when his flight got grounded, reading trivia, playing old songs, and making everyone laugh. At a fan event, when someone shouted, "You're breathtaking," he shouted back, "You're breathtaking." You're all breathtaking. That became a meme, but also a mirror of who he truly is. And when Stephen Colbert asked him, "What happens when we die?" he didn't give a philosophical speech. He simply said, "I know that the ones who love us will miss us." That's Keanu Reeves, pure, real, grounded. Today, Keanu Reeves stands as one of the few in Hollywood who has mastered both success and humility. He's an actor, a musician, a writer, a producer, a biker, but above all, he's a good man. He once said, "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." And that's what his life is. Surfing through pain, through fame, through chaos, with calm, kindness, and grace. From the lonely kid in Toronto to the beloved legend of Hollywood. Keanu Reeves didn't just act in movies. He lived a message that kindness, humility, and humanity never go out of style. Because in a world full of stars trying to shine the brightest, Keanu Reeves just became the light. Subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching. Love you all.